This video explains how to do the monthly market research, assuming that it's already been done for this client at least once. So just having a look at the process S20, I've split it up into first time research and monthly repeats. So the first time research is slightly longer because we do the ad analysis matrix as well, and there's a few extra steps. This video is looking specifically at the monthly repeats because the process is a bit faster and really just sort of checking over what we did first time. Every client, shortly anyway, will have a market research folder. So in Google Drive, if you go into Clients, Currents, go into the client that you're looking at, which in this case, in this instance, is me. But it could be anyone else. There will be a market research folder. In here, there will be at least two files. There will be a market research notes file, and there will be any ad analysis matrices that we've created in the first step. There's not in this case because I'm naughty, but normally there will be. So what you're going to have to do is open this documents, which is here. And the first thing that you're going to do is just scroll to the bottom. So I've actually done this today, but I'll repeat the process just to show you what I did. So scroll to the very bottom, put in the date, 13th February 2014. Make it a heading 1, so it's nice and big. Then basically you're just going to follow the steps in here. So open the market research notes from the first time, add a new date at the bottom. I'll put in as a heading 2 here. Let's change that to a heading 1. In Google AdWords, so you're going to need to be in Google AdWords to do this. So if I come back to Chrome, okay. So in AdWords, you need to come into the client that you're doing the research for. Make sure that they are selected. So select the right clients, and be on the main campaign screen with all campaigns selected. You want to look at data for the last 30 days, and then what you want to do is you want to come to Details, Auction Insights, All. And what this report does is it shows you who has appeared above this client, in this case me, in the last 30 days. So the position above rate tells you what percentage of the time they appear above us when we overlap. So this is a little bit it's not quite deceptive, but rocketmail.co.uk have appeared above us 97% of the time, but our ads only overlap 4% of the time. So it's not always hugely meaningful. What I would do actually is I would copy and paste this list of competitors, and what I'd do actually is I'd take it down to about 25%, position above. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight down to 25% position above. Press Ctrl C, go to the market research notes that we're working on. Paste that in, and then that'll paste in a list of competitors that we need to keep an eye out for. Okay, so order the competitors by position above rate. If these aren't in order of position above rate, you need to click on this title. So often what they'll do is they'll order them by, I think they might be ordered by impression share to start with. So if you click on position above rate, it'll reorder those. Okay, then so for the competitors that have a high position above rate, what we're going to do is we're going to try and find examples of what they're saying in their ads. So to do this, you're going to need to go to Google, and you're going to have to do a few searches. And the thing I want to stress is this should be quite a quick process. I don't want it to take all day. I don't want you to find everyone in the list. I just want you to do a few searches, see who turns up, and copy and paste any ads that are from the competitors in the list that turn up, but also just any other high-ranking ads that you find interesting, and paste them into the market research document. So what I did was, so what are the terms I'm targeting in this case is Google AdWords. So obviously Google come out top, so I'm not really competing with Google. Word streamer on the list. So if I go back to the market research notes, word streamer in there. So I'm interested in what they have to say. So literally, don't worry about the formatting or anything. Just highlight the ad, Control C, back to the research document, Control V, paste it in. Next one. Advertising web service. They weren't on, were they? Oh, they are there. Advertising web service. So let's paste in them. I just want to put a bit of space between these ads. But yeah, they're not saying anything particularly interesting on it. Get your website listed here. Free, risk-free advertising. Good. Okay. I think FreeSpee were on the list as well. FreeSpee. So what are they saying? Drop 2 lines of code on your site and track calls from your campaigns. Yeah, so they've actually. Looks like they have a call tracking service actually, but we'll paste it in anyway. The online marketing shop. No. Okay. I think what I would do is I would put in another few terms. So Google AdWords agency is another term that I'm interested in. So there's a few here that aren't actually on the list, but because they're at the top, I'm sort of fairly interested in them. Rocket Mill were on the list, so Rocket Mill we're up here at the top. So let's paste in what Rocket Mill is saying. Don't leave your AdWords unmanned. AdWords management call now. A lot of these are quite big agencies. You see that to bid on the term Google AdWords agency is actually quite expensive, which is why I'm not really appearing. Let's paste in some of the top ones as well. So Kuzai, work with an award-winning agency trusted by 100+ brands. Okay. And let's also paste in Red Wasp. That's not one I've come across before actually. Low cost management fees from £400. So that's interesting actually, because they've actually got a price in their ads, which makes it slightly different. If you compare that to to what most of the others are saying, award-winning PPC management, proactive and revenue focused. Bugger off. So yeah, let's paste in Red Wasp. Top Click Media, they're an agency, so spend less plus more sales equal better ROI. Request a free PPC audit, and there's a call to action there. But a lot of these things say the same thing. Award-winning, UK-based, AdWords certified, we are experts. Blah. Profit-led, download our PPC overview. So Yeah, I might leave that there actually. Let's just try looking up Google AdWords guide. That's another thing I'm looking at. So we've got WordStream again. We've already got them. Oh, there's me. Get ahead of your competition in 24 Google AdWords training. So this is a slightly different market. This is like training rather than people who are looking for an agency. So I think that's it really. I think that's all for that. So don't labour it. Just do a quick scan on a handful of terms. For clients like Ashland Chemicals, where they have a large number of products, I don't want you going through each product and doing this. So I don't want you working through latex gloves, nitrile gloves, poly gloves, mops. Just look up. So if this was Ashland Chemicals, I would look up something like disposable gloves. Just try and identify a few keywords that kind of groups all of their products together, and then do it that way. Or so maybe look up like disposable gloves, cleaning supplies, and then that would probably be it. Just do a fast search and see who else is appearing. For someone like LED Trade Counter, who sell LED light bulbs, LED lights, don't go through every single product. We are just trying to, this is a proper scan over. That's what I want to emphasize. Yeah, that's step one. So we just paste anything interesting into the market research document. Don't worry about the formatting. This is just a dump for anything you find interesting. Okay, step 2 is go to Google Alerts, and for the same keywords that you searched for up here in step 1, enter them into Google Alerts and see if anything interesting shows up. So I've done this earlier, so don't. The thing that you need to do here is don't press enter. So let's put in Google AdWords. Don't press enter, because if you press enter, it'll actually create the alert, which isn't what you want. And just scan down this for stuff that's interesting. What I found when I did this earlier was I actually ignored this at first. So Google AdWords is changing the way conversions are counted, but this actually crops up a lot. So I would actually paste this story in because it's relevant. We're basically just looking for relevant stories that indicate news in the industry. I'm not really looking for such and such an agency have published a book on AdWords. That's not very interesting. I'm looking for wider news on what's going on, basically. So let's just copy and paste that back to the market research. Maybe just put in like a heading. So Google Alerts. Control V. I think if we want, we can make that a heading 2. 5 steps. So this is promoting a workshop. Yeah. 5 steps to understanding AdWords. No, I don't think so. No, that's not very interesting. If you're not sure, there's a bit of a grey area here. If you're not sure, don't paste it in. I'm only looking for stuff that is genuinely quite interesting. Marketers should use Google AdWords keyword tool. So BOP design offers solutions for websites that drop in. So this is looking at something that BOP design are doing. I don't really care. 3 Google updates for AdWords advertisers. So again, this is talking about the conversion change again. So this is the same as the top story. If you see stuff appearing more than once, then it's generally important. How to pass the AdWords exam. So this is stuff that you need to ignore Google AdWords specialist. We are a thriving e-commerce company. Blah 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 blah. So not massively interesting. Let's have a look at Google AdWords agency, which will probably throw up a load of guff. Yeah, so this is the sort of thing that we're not very interested in. So Boston pay-per-click agency releases first edition of AdWords PPC handbook. Yeah, nobody cares. That's interesting. So that's wider news. So cost per click increases across the board. Weaker Bing ad spend. So clicks on Bing ads decreased 7.4% last year, and almost 20% in the quarter, while clicks on Google AdWords rose 11.3% year over year. That's interesting. That's a potential blog post for me. So let's stick that in. What else did we look for? I think we looked for guide, didn't we? Google AdWords guide. So yeah, we haven't got much here. So 5-minute guide to Google AdWords. Yeah, I'm not very interested in that. So again, don't sweat it. It gets easier the more you do it, as you get more familiar with the products. But I'm really looking for like industry news and things that are relevant that we might be able to use in ads, basically. So that's step 2. Step 3, the final step, is to go to Twitter and do exactly the same thing. So you need to go to Twitter. You need to log in to Twitter. So you need a Twitter account to do this. But then just search for the same things that you searched for in the previous step. So I've put in Google AdWords. And again, just keep an eye out for things that look interesting. So again, there's quite a lot on these updates for AdWords and the way they're changing. So this is the same story as we found in Google Alerts. So to do with the conversion tracking. So let's maybe just paste that in as well. What I would do here is I would just put in a note saying Twitter. Make that a heading 2. Just to distinguish. So that's not very interesting. So that's someone saying that they also do vehicle graphics. Great, good for you. Google's checklist for post-holiday earnings. No, not really. So don't sweat it. Scan. What I want you to do here is scan quickly, and the first time you do this, it'll probably be quite slow, but the more you do it for each client, the better, the faster you can sort of exercise judgment on what's useful and what's not. And don't worry too much if you post something in that's not useful. Because either me or whoever's managing the account will read the market research document afterwards, and we'll give you some feedback on whether it's interesting or not. So again, we've got this tracking conversions thing, something to do with the Google AdWords exam, temporary tracking problems. Again, so conversion counting seems to be the subject of the moment. So that's pretty much it, really. BC are talking about Twitter ads. Maybe put this in. So a new Google AdWords campaign type. That's interesting. Again, conversion tracking. So I think we've probably got everything that we need from this. So maybe let's go back to the top and put in Google AdWords agency. . Performance priced PPC, link agency fees to your return on investments. Yeah. Something in Spanish, or maybe Portuguese. Yeah, this is actually less interesting than I thought it was going to be. Empowering agencies with new leads, new tools, new opportunities. A Nigerian digital marketing agency, blah, 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 blah. Okay, no, screw that. That's not very good. And we also had guide, didn't we? Google AdWords guide. 70% off AdWords coupons, beginner's guide to AdWords. So again, you know, this isn't really quite my market, so complete guide to laws and here. Google AdWords guide for attorneys. Okay, no, I'm not very interested in that. So, you know, in some cases, you might find that there's only one keyword that gives you interesting results. I only really want you to do this for like a maximum of 2 or 3 terms, otherwise, you know, this is going to start taking all day. But that's basically it. So, you know, this saves you as you go along, so you don't need to save it. And then the next time you come and do this, you know, you'll just scroll to the bottom, put in the new date, so whenever it is, 3rd of March, blah, blah, blah. Do it again. And that's it, really. So have a go at that. If you've got any questions, it is important in advance that you kind of understand what the client does. So if you've got any questions, then do let me know.